Right now at noon, Pope Francis has died at age 88, the latest at the Vatican.
And we've got skies progressively clearing across the area, an opportunity to dry out, but more rain chances as we head later in the week, the latest in the forecast coming up.
Plus, severe storms over the weekend caused damage in southwest Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. New at noon today, the Catholic Church has begun a 9-day period of mourning following the death of Pope Francis. The Vatican announced the 88-year-old pontiff died this morning, saying he taught us to live the values of the gospel with fidelity, courage, and universal love. Pope Francis's death came less than 24 hours after he appeared in St. Peter's Square for the Easter holiday. Jared Hill reports from New York.
Bells tolled throughout St. Peter's Square in Vatican City as mourners gathered to remember Pope Francis.
It's a very sad day for the Roman Catholic faith.
It's a stark contrast to scenes of joy on Easter Sunday.
Cari fratelli.
The 88-year-old pontiff delivered a message to the faithful, then greeted cheering crowds from the Pope-mobile for what would be the final time.
We can't believe it's happened while we're here. You know, he was a lovely Pope. We're very sad about it.
Last month, Pope Francis was released from the hospital after a 5-week stay for life-threatening double pneumonia. In his Easter address read by an aide, the Pope called for an end to violence in a number of major conflicts and urged compassion for marginalized people and migrants.
It was somehow just symbolically and spiritually apt that a Pope who was so beholden to being there for the forgotten people of the world, at the very end, that's how he went out as well.
Catholic churches around the world, including St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York, are now holding daily prayer services in honor of Pope Francis. He earned the name the People's Pope during his 12 years leading the church.
He was trying to allow people to feel included more, to give hope and more compassion. He just didn't tolerate anyone who felt that they were superior to anyone else or that they were better than.
This evening, Vatican officials will preside over a solemn ritual, placing the Pope's body in a coffin, which will eventually be placed at St. Peter's Basilica. Pope Francis will lie in state there for several days before his funeral. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Well, Vatican officials say Pope Francis's body could be moved to St. Peter's Basilica as early as Wednesday. Then in 15 to 20 days, cardinals from all around the world will descend on Rome to elect a new pope. Now let's head over to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, after a rough weekend of strong to severe thunderstorms leaving behind damage, they also left behind a lot of flooding across the area as well. But at least today into tomorrow, an opportunity to begin to dry out. Earlier this morning, skies were gradually clearing from downtown Pittsburgh. Starting to see a little more sunshine in there this morning with those clouds still hanging on. Clouds hanging on in Joplin this morning as well for a little while, but that clearing continuing to take place on what's going to be an absolutely beautiful, near textbook day. Yesterday, in terms of at least temperatures, pretty normal. A degree above normal for the low and a degree below normal for the high. But take a look at the rainfall. Just over 2.5 inches of rain just yesterday. That puts us almost 3.5 inches over for the month of April and nearly 3/4 of an inch over for this year. So we're making up the deficit we've had in the last couple of years, but unfortunately we're making up too much in too little time, which is leading to those flooding concerns across the area. Temperatures continuing to warm, average high about 71. You can see those temperatures continue to climb above that as we head through this week and into the middle of the week. As for the rest of this evening, clear skies out there, then just a few clouds late evening and overnight. Temperatures back into the upper 50s by midnight. We're looking at lows back into the low to mid 50s. We do have warmer and windier conditions for our Tuesday, and unfortunately, we have additional shower and thunderstorm chances this week. We'll go over those details with you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, yesterday afternoon storms left a path of debris and many people in our area without power. One area impacted by the storms was Carl Junction. Many residents were left cleaning up large branches and uprooted trees scattered throughout town. Driving around, you could see fields covered in debris. Now, some of it wrapped around fences and garages. Emergency crews were also busy responding to downed power lines. Some of the lines we saw were splintered and snapped in half. Crews blocked off roads to keep the public safe as they worked to make repairs. Carl Junction's fire chief also shared more information about the storm.
Our crews have done a complete primary search. We're working on secondary search and trying to make contact with people who have had damage to their homes. So that's basically the situation right now, and we're kind of moving through our checklist, and for the most part no injuries at this point in time that's been reported, but like I said, there is extensive power outage in certain areas.
Now, Carl Junction schools are not in session today, so crews can continue to work on cleaning up the town. Lamar, Missouri and the surrounding Barton County area also suffered significant damage from the storms. Several large trees and power lines were knocked down. One truck driver said he had to ride out the storm from inside his cab as it passed directly overhead. The storms also destroyed a detached shop near a home, scattering debris more than 200 yards away.
Hoping that it didn't, blow the truck over or something, and because where I live in Oklahoma, we live in Tornado Alley, so I've been through them quite a bit. But sitting here in a truck like this with it rocking, you don't know what it's going to do, and it could take this truck and it could throw it all anywhere it wanted to if it hit it.
So when they came out originally, the road was open. They were able to get as far down as the down power lines where they had to stop, and now they actually shut down the road, so we can't even walk through the fields to get over there and check everything out, which, is safety and precautions, but you want to get over there and see what all's wrong and get everything going.
Lamar City Administrator Rusty Rive says that many people may not see power restored until later today. We have an update on an officer-involved shooting. The suspect, 43-year-old Gavin Newton of Joplin, who was taken to the hospital after the incident, has died. He succumbed to his injuries at a local hospital on Saturday. His next of kin has been notified. Newton's death follows an April 13th incident on County Road 70. According to authorities, 2 Jasper County deputies were dispatched to investigate a domestic disturbance in progress. When they encountered Newton, he was armed with a knife. Now, they ordered him to the ground, but he charged at them. After deploying tasers twice with no effect, one deputy fired his weapon, striking Newton. Authorities say the deputies administered medical aid until EMS arrived. Now, they have since been placed on administrative leave. Newton was charged with domestic assault and assault on a law enforcement officer. The Missouri Highway Patrol is now handling the investigation. Around 2:45 a.m. Saturday, law enforcement saw a car run a stop sign at high speed on Black Cat Road, crossing Fountain Road in western Jasper County. As authorities tried to pull the car over, it overturned near the Turkey Creek Bridge. The driver refused medical treatment and was taken to the Jasper County Jail. Another single vehicle crash in Jasper County late Friday night has authorities searching for the driver. A white pickup truck was found near the Center Creek Bridge. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says the southbound truck hit the right guardrail, then went down a steep embankment coming within feet of the creek. The investigation to locate the driver is ongoing. Well, coming up, more on the death of Pope Francis. A look at the Pope's meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance hours before his passing. And later, we're making the perfect egg salad in the Mr. Food test kitchen. The White House is reacting to the news Pope Francis has died. President Trump and Francis had a long, often contentious relationship. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
President Trump says he's ordered flags to fly at half-staff to honor the memory of Pope Francis.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world, and it's an honor to do that.
So good to see you.
The Pope's death comes just one day after he briefly met with Vice President J.D. Vance at the Vatican.
I know you've not been feeling great, but it's good to see you in better health.
The vice president, reacting to this morning's news, said his heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved Pope Francis. Vance, who converted to Catholicism in 2019, has clashed with Pope Francis over the administration's policies on immigration. Pope Francis, known as a champion for migrants and those pushed to the edges of society, had called President Trump's mass deportation plans a disgrace. During Trump's first presidential campaign, Pope Francis took issue with his proposal to build a border wall, calling it not Christian.
For a religious leader to question a person's faith is disgraceful.
But President Trump appeared humbled after meeting with Francis at the Vatican in 2017.
He is something. He is really great. We had a fantastic meeting and we had a fantastic tour. It was really beautiful.
Former President Biden, the nation's second Catholic president, praised the Pope's leadership, saying he commanded us to fight for peace and protect our planet from the climate crisis, and advocated for the voiceless and powerless. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We've got just the way to turn these into a tasty treat that everyone will love. Everyone.
And we're tracking a warm and windy Tuesday, plus additional shower and thunderstorm chances out there. The latest when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. Of course, this past weekend, rough weekend. Strong severe thunderstorms leaving damage behind in a number of locations and leaving a lot of flooding concerns behind as well. But at least today and into our Tuesday, an opportunity to dry out a bit and start that cleanup and recovery process once again, not even 3 weeks after the last round of damaging storms we had in the 4 states. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh from this morning. Again, we spent a good portion of the morning cloudy out there, but the sky is beginning to clear this morning and will continue to do so. That's why we're starting to see some sunshine earlier this morning. Future track through the rest of the afternoon, no clouds out there. It's going to be a very textbook April day. A little warmer than normal, but not significantly so, as we head into the low 70s, and a light southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 gives us an opportunity again to dry out and do a little bit of that cleanup and recovery, because unfortunately many folks left with damage once again from the weekend storms. Now overnight we'll have a few clouds here and there. Temperatures back into the 50s, not bad, but our winds out of the south will begin to increase as we head through the late morning into the afternoon Tuesday. A bit breezy, those gusts occasionally upwards of 20 miles an hour. With that south wind increasing, though, that also increases our temperatures. So you can see by Tuesday evening, we're starting to head into the upper 70s, even some low 80s possible in some of our southern counties. Now overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, clouds begin to increase across the area. That keeps us very mild, well above normal into Wednesday morning. We'll have mostly cloudy skies through the day on Wednesday, and we're keeping an eye on the possibility of increasing shower and thunderstorm chances as we head later into the late afternoon, evening hours on our Wednesday. The severe threat for Wednesday at this point is off to our west, but it does get pretty close to our area, especially our western counties, so it is something we want to watch. And of course, we're heading into the peak of severe weather season, so really almost any thunderstorm chances we get, we certainly want to keep an eye on just in case. Now, a reminder on the floods, we have aerial flood warnings or county-wide flood warnings. Jasper, Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties. Flood advisories in this lighter green color, and a number of creeks, streams, and rivers with flood warnings as well. So remember, turn around, don't drown. If you know your typical route to wherever you may go, takes you through flood-prone areas, make sure you've got a backup route, an alternate route plan for the next few days as these waters begin to recede out there. And additionally, don't try and drive through that water. You don't know how deep it is. You don't know the condition of the roadway underneath, if it's been washed away or not. And you don't know how fast that water is moving. It doesn't take much in order to sweep a vehicle off the road. So please be safe, be careful, be smart. And again, the main thing, turn around, don't drown. Today, again, low 70s, clear skies out there through the afternoon. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Winds shift out of the south overnight at 5 to 10 still, and just a few clouds here and there, falling back into the low to mid 50s. Upper 70s, maybe some low 80s tomorrow. Still sunny, bit breezier as I mentioned. South winds start gusting upwards of 20. Then as we head into our Wednesday, again, mostly cloudy, some scattered storms, 70s. And those storm chances continue from Wednesday through at least Friday morning. And by Friday into Saturday, we're going to be a bit below normal out there. And then we'll see additional shower and thunderstorm chances as we start into the next work week. So again, nothing screaming severe on the long range, but certainly with thunderstorm chances in severe weather season, something we want to keep an eye on. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, storms didn't stop the First Baptist Church Carthage from giving away Easter eggs yesterday. Now, due to the weather, the event was planned to be held at Central Park, but was changed to giving over 4,600 eggs out to the community so they can do their own DIY Easter egg hunts. Over 150 bags were made to give out to members of the community. And stick around, we're making perfect egg salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Today, Howard's making perfect egg salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I hope you had a nice Easter. And if you're like most of us, your fridge is probably stuffed with leftovers, including a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. So let me share with you how you can quickly turn them into some of the best egg salad you've ever had. The first thing I want to stress is that if you have any Easter eggs, decorated or not, that you use for an Easter egg hunt or that sat out for some time, you should definitely throw those out, as they may not be safe to eat. But for all the rest, and there are probably plenty, all we need to do is finally chop them with a chopper like this, or we can use a fork to sort of smash them. If you got a lot, now would be a good time to pull out your food processor. To that, we add some chopped celery and onion, a touch of yellow mustard, some mayo, and a bit of salt and pepper. A good mix, and there you have it. A basic egg salad that's ready to eat as is, to top on a green salad, or to make into a sandwich. You see, the celery and onion give it a welcome crunch, and the mustard adds just the right kick. So here's what I suggest. Go online and print the recipe for what we call perfect egg salad. And I think you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an exceptionally good way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find the recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, low 70s today, upper 70s, maybe some low 80s for our Tuesday, and breezy. And we're watching thunderstorm chances from Wednesday late afternoon through at least Friday morning. And then a break on Saturday. More storm chances, though, next Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
All right, a break from the rain. Should be nice.
Yeah, we need a chance to dry out for sure.
Certainly do. Dowdy Uppers later on.
Well, a lot's coming up at 5. For starters, scammers have found a new way to get your personal information, including social security numbers. We're going to take a look at how the phone scam works. Plus, cleanup efforts are underway in Carl Junction following yesterday's storms. And the Joplin City Council discussed the future of the site where the old Freeman Hospital sits on South Sargent. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. KOAM News at 5.
All right, thanks, Down. That's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.